Hi everybody, welcome to another casual road to GG. Week 1. So in the first video I made a benchmark just to see where I stand aim-wise. As I promised, I continue to do all the exercises at least once a day and basically just seeing if there's any improvement in my aim. So let's have a look at some stats. Also in the last video I said that I will make a statistics sheet with an FPS benchmark tool. Unfortunately, that one doesn't work anymore. It seems that there's an ongoing problem with the conversion of Kovaak's files, but in the meantime Kovaak's actually made a feature in their program that kinda gives you like a statistic of your day or week or month. So as you can see, the curve is pretty wild, and there's actually a reason for that. I've made some minor changes during the whole training process, and on some of the days there was actually a reason why I wasn't in good shape. On the second lowest part of the curve, I actually realized that I really hadn't slept pretty good those 2 days, so I think that really influenced my aim. And on the best days, I've actually made a minor adjustment of 0.05 on my sensitivity, because I realized that I'm mostly a wrist player. I mostly use my wrist in aiming, so that's why I put my sensitivity just a bit up in Kovaak and also in DIABOTICAL. And it actually seemed to have resulted in some new high scores and overall in better aim in the game. Also, in the 6th day, I've actually put in a little bit of a warm-up just before doing the exercises, just because I realized that it's not fair for the first exercise to get into it without any warm-up. So I've decided to do around 7 minutes of clicking exercise and 7 minutes of tracking exercise. So let's have a look at the first stat. The first exercise is close long strafes. So my high score on the first day was 9,684 points with an accuracy of 41%. And during the couple of days after that, I've actually made a new high score of 11,790 points with an accuracy of 50%, which is pretty okay because I got around 1,500 points more and around 10% on my aim. And on the 6th day where I changed my aim, I have actually managed to put up a new high score of 12,402 points with an accuracy of 52.2%. And I can actually say that I was really lucky with the spawns and the movement of the bot, but my flicks were pretty okay. And I just see one problem, and that is that my tracking still isn't as smooth as I would like, and that it's still pretty jerky. But on the 7th day I topped at around 11,934 points, which is pretty okay. It's still much higher than on the first day. The second exercise is the one that I really didn't like. It's called thin long aiming. And I've started with, I don't know which score, but on the 4th day I've actually made a record of around 1,603 points with an accuracy of 26.9%. Then I actually managed to top that on day 6, where I changed my sensitivity with 2 records, and the best one is 1,751 points with an accuracy of 29.36%. And unfortunately, I don't have a video of that, but I have a video of a pretty bad take. As you can see, my tracking is also pretty stuttery on that one, so I really have to work on it, or at least find out what the real problem is. Am I holding my mouse too low? Am I maybe using too much wrist and too little arm? I don't know. So the next exercise is called vertical long strafes. It's a tracking exercise of a vertical target, as the name says. And basically on the 4th day I've managed to do a high score of 12,222 points with an accuracy of 52%. On the 5th day, where I didn't sleep well, it wasn't that good. And on the 6th day where I changed my sensitivity, I actually managed to do 3 new high scores. And the best one was 13,338 points with an accuracy of 57.58%. And all I can say is that I was really lucky with the positions and my tracking was pretty okay. I mostly used my arm, which was really interesting because I actually managed to track pretty smoothly vertically while using my arm, just like moving from my shoulder. And the one problem that I see here is that kind of anti-flick. Like whenever I flick to the target just before that, it's like I move too much towards the direction that I was tracking to, which is like a thing that probably makes my whole reaction time much slower. So that's also one thing that I obviously really have to work on. Okay, so the next one is one of my favorites. It's called Kata Icy Long Strafes. And during the week I made some improvements, but really nothing special. I had a record on the fourth day of 4,702 points with an accuracy of 52.7%, but unfortunately I don't have a video for that. But I have a video of the last day where I did pretty okay, 4,534 points with an accuracy of 52.04%. And as you can see, these are still not smooth trackings. You can see a lot of stuttering in my aiming, and I'll really have to address on that, because even though I flick pretty okay to adjust my positioning and my aiming, I still want my tracking to be smooth, or much smoother than this. For the Rex Strafes kata, I also unfortunately don't have a video of the record, but I can say that during the week I made quite an improvement on my score. I started with 1,479 points with an accuracy of 32.5%, and on the sixth day I managed to make a record of 2,284 points, which is pretty fine. I mean, it's a pretty big improvement, and I actually started to like this exercise. You're currently seeing a take from 7th day, and it feels kinda too clenched. I mean, it's really hard and it's not smooth, and I really hope that this will get better. Also, a pretty big improvement happened on the exercise of fast strafes, which is pretty similar to the Rex strafe, just the bot is not shooting at you. I started with 1,668 points with an accuracy of 29.61%, and then on the fifth day I had two records, and on the sixth day I actually managed to do 2,149 points with an accuracy of 34.11%, which is a pretty nice difference from where I began. And I think that the Rex strafes and the fast strafes like really helped me just to calm my hand down, you know, not to move too much, and it really actually works. Unfortunately, on the last day, my takes were horrible, so, well, there you go. So the next exercise is called One Wall 9,000 Targets, and it's like a point and click exercise. Basically, I really like doing this one. I feel like I'm really progressing. I started with 126 points, and by day 6 I actually managed to do two records, and the last one was 149 points with an accuracy of 90.66%. Unfortunately, I don't have a video of that, but on the day 7, on my third take, I did a pretty okay take. And now, actually, when I'm looking at it, I can say like the alignment of the targets was really nice, and I feel like I could have got a pretty better result just if I had like an overview of the whole thing. But unfortunately I just concentrated on like more of the individual targets and the path where I'm going to. Right then I did a take of 148.8 points, but I had like really a lot of misses, you know, like 18 times I missed the target. That's a thing that I should really work on, because I really liked the rhythm of my shooting, but I just had a lot of fails aiming wise. So I really think this will get better. A similar thing actually happened on the next exercise called Tau Frenzy, where I started with 51 points and with an accuracy of 85%, and on the third day, or 4th, I actually made a record of 58 points with an accuracy of 88%. And I can say that I had a pretty nice and fast aiming, like just changing the focus, but I also had a lot of misses. So it's kind of like a similar thing that happened on the exercise before. So I'll definitely have to address my precision on all of these exercises. And on the last exercise, that's called one wall, 6 targets small, I've actually made a pretty big high score. I started with 512 points with an accuracy of 80%, and then on the last day I actually made a record of 721 points with an accuracy of 96.15%. And that's actually really interesting because while I was doing the exercise, I didn't have a feeling that I was going fast or that I was doing anything other than just trying to flick and hit the targets. And I actually really like my fast change of the focus that I did there. But as you can see, I still have a lot of micro adjustments. It's just that when I get into the flow, I really can change to a smaller target, pretty precise and pretty fast, but most of the time I cannot do it. So obviously in all of these point and click exercises, I really have to sort of reevaluate my sensitivity and just see what will happen. But overall this score is really great, and I'm really interested in seeing just what will happen next. Wow, so this is a pretty long video. I will find a format and try to make them much shorter because it takes a lot of time to record this stuff and also to edit out all the unwanted stuff. Just to recap quickly, I really feel like my aim is getting better. I'm pretty satisfied with my progress. I feel like it's an upward path. And that actually just influences my self-esteem during the game. And when that's happening, you know, you just start hitting some shots that you couldn't have imagined to hit before. So I think that's pretty okay. I think actually that's the point of all of this. My games have become much more fluid. I get into some fights that I really wouldn't dare to go in before, and now I can par with some much better aiming players, so that's pretty nice. So anyways, see you guys in a week when we will track our next stage, week 2 of training with Kovaak's aim trainer, and enjoy yourselves. And if you have any recommendation on my training or anything else, please feel free to leave a comment and enjoy. Hope to see you on the servers, and until next time, embrace the suck and keep on fragging.